Hello again. So I'm just sitting here and just thinking to myself, how long are people going to put up with this? Okay. The reason I asked that question is because I'm starting to see a lot of videos where people want to put out about zombies and stuff like that's a new phenomena. Okay. And everybody talking about zombies. Zombies are coming, the zombie apocalypse, the zombie, right? Well, actually, I don't see a lot of them. I might see it in the titles, but I don't click on them. The reason why is because that's nothing new. It's clear that a lot of people are zombies by the fact that, especially, I saw more that a lot of people in the world are zombies. When they were so quick to go along with, this thing that actually caused a lockdown in 2020. And I saw people were zombies then, how quick they were to go along with everything, even if they knew that a lot of things were a lie. A lot of people were just quickly to go along with it to try to get whatever they thought their freedom would be. And now they see there's something new, something every month, something new keeps coming out, something new keeps stopping them from their taste of freedom. They thought if they would get what they told them to get and do what they say do all these rules and stuff, they can finally get their freedom back, they can finally get their life back. But new stuff keep coming out, and we just see that people keep going along with it. That's zombie stuff right there, right? And the problem is that if you are a person that's not for it, then you have to do stuff individually, work on yourself to try to get what you want in your life, to work around the madness, especially in the United States of America. Now, it's around the world, but because I live in the United States, I'm mostly speaking about that. You got to do different stuff to work around it, and you have to do extra work because there's so many people that are kind of content with the madness, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Like, I spoke earlier about electronic harassment. Don't get me wrong, I get that people don't understand what that is, but it seems like even if people will understand what it is, I get the funny feeling that they're not going to do anything about it. We see what's happening with the gas price rising for no reason. We see what they're doing with the food on the shelves. But see, what good is it to go to the store these days and try to buy food? Because now they keep talking about how stuff is in the food. I saw a title on the video about ticks and beef. I just saw a title on the video. I didn't click on it. And then what else did I see? Something about some listeria that's in something. It was an article. It was something. But it's some other food item where now there's something called listeria. See, it's like if they raise the prices, it look like the food ain't safe to eat no way. Not even fruit. Like it ain't safe to eat no way. But here's what I want to say though. Being that the physical world is an illusion, the reason why we get sick from all these little things is because of we hold on to the physical illusion. Because to be quite honest, we're not really eating what we think is physical food anyway. We're taking in information. We're only taking in information. We're not eating physical food anyway. Okay? So with that being said, no matter what kind of ticks or poison, honestly, that's in that, we choose not to believe it because we only take in information. Now, if you really are rooted in the physical world, I'll say don't leave that alone. And me, even though I say that I know that the physical world is an illusion, there's a part of me that is still so indoctrinated in the mind that it's hard to rise above it anyway, because I still need a car to ride in, I still need food to eat, I still behave as a person that's physical, even though I'm aware that the physical world is an illusion, because we've been indoctrinated since we were born. When you come to the realization of the truth, it's hard to come out of it overnight. It's a process. And like I said before, when you have things to do like work and pay bills, and especially if you have children or any responsibilities that keep your mind rooted to the physical world, and then it makes it even harder to come out of it. That's why some people just stop everything and join groups. And you know what? That's what I'm going to end up having to do. That's what I'm going to end up having to do for myself, because I'm ready to end the physical illusion. I'm ready to end the physical illusion. But the problem is that I'm under a consciousness that's heavily rooted in the material world. And when I say consciousness, I'm talking about people, period, whether they white, black, whoever, whatever race you want to call it. Most people around you in the world, period, no matter where they are heavily rooted in the physical mindset. And it's hard for you yourself. It's just hard to elevate out of it, okay? I think I might be one of those people that want to join these areas like in the Himalayas, not to say I'll go that far, but something similar like Costa Rica or something, where they have these areas where people just mostly they're on a higher vibration, they meditate, they relax and do all that stuff, and it's not all about being rooted in the physical world, right? Instead of being in a world where most people are about getting their money, and that's the consciousness that you're under, and so you kind of have to do it too. It makes it a little harder to rise in that consciousness because it already has a certain type of dome in that particular area. And if you're trying to rise up and you're under a consciousness or a particular dome that's heavily rooted in the material, and you just about the only one maybe in that city that's trying to rise in consciousness, it's going to be harder. I'm telling you, I saw the difference of when I went to India and when I was in the United States of America. Specifically, I lived in Inglewood. And when I went to India, I didn't know, but when I came back, I saw the difference. Okay, and I was in a certain part of India because some parts of India are the slums, okay? And so, I was in a certain part of India where people are very spiritual. It's called Auroville. So that's an area that's not run by the government anyway, okay? They believe in people being one. They don't believe in separation by religion and races and cultures. They don't believe in separation. Well, the concept, they don't want to believe in it, but people still act like that because they've still been indoctrinated. So you're dealing with grown folks that have indoctrination in them. It's hard to pull that out. Even though you have a goal for a particular city and you have a mission, people have already been indoctrinated and you're dealing with grown folks, okay? But but anyway, it was still a difference. It was on a high vibration. And so in areas like that, that's on a higher vibration, it's easier to get up out the illusion than being under a particular consciousness where people are about work and, heavily rooted in physical, and even when they talk, they not even, it's not really about spiritual things. They're still stuck on material stuff. It's hard to rise up by yourself under a consciousness like that, okay? What was I going to say? But yeah, I was just saying, how long are people going to put up with this? Because let me tell you something. Even prayer. A lot of people, I'm not a Christian either, but I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people who are real hardcore, I wouldn't say hardcore Christians, but they really believed in the power of prayer. And when they prayed, they came together, they put a heavy intention on what they were praying for, and they will still get results because they still put an intention on it. You understand? They still put an intention on the goal. So regardless of what's real and what's not, with that heavy intention on what they want, they still got the results. So even though I'm not a Christian, I've seen it before. Okay? And I'm going to give an example, like Michael Jackson. Bobby Hemmett was telling the story of Michael Jackson, how he had some implants in him, and it was causing him to kind of go crazy a little bit because there was some implants in his mind to spy on him, right? And it was driving him crazy, and I guess somebody took him to a particular church or whatever, and the people around there prayed for him, and they was putting all that energy into dissolving that thing, and guess what? It was gone. He was free. So Michael Jackson most likely was not a Christian, okay? I know he might have grown up Jehovah's Witness, but after he was able to be free from it, I don't think he held on to all those beliefs, okay? So that's what I'm saying, is that the intention helps to, it helps to change things. So even like with everything that's going on now, right? Even if these people who call themselves Christians, they keep trying to go around telling everybody to give themselves to Jesus Christ, but at the same time, they can't do nothing to change what's going on, right? But they want to go around and tell everybody else to turn over to Jesus. Like, you're not showing nobody the proof to cause somebody to want to become a Christian, because to be quite honest with you, if you let Christians around the world in a black church, Latino church, wherever it is, a white church even, you let these churches around the world, if they were the real Christians like back in the day, and they put some powerful prayer and intention on what's going on right now to help flip this thing around, it would be answered. It would be answered. But it's not happening, and obviously people can do other types of work to change things too. You know, like in Costa Rica and the Himalayas and all that stuff, obviously they're not Christians, but they do a lot of meditations and stuff, you know. And that's what I'm saying, is that when I say how long people are going to put up with this, I don't mean necessarily protesting and physically fighting. I'm talking about more on the spiritual. And the reason why I brought up the Christianity part is because a lot of people are not Christians. I'm not Christians either. But I have seen people get results. I have seen the results of intention. I have seen that. Okay, regardless of whether people want to be a Christian or not. Okay. And so that's what I'm saying, is that in the United States especially, and around the world, but the United States especially, people have lost their spirituality. They have lost it. So I don't expect anybody to physically fight anybody. When I say how long they're going to put up with this, I don't expect nobody to get out and protest and get out and go blow up stuff. And I don't expect stuff like that. If they try to go out and physically fight somebody, they're going to lose. I don't expect people to do that. I'm talking about people are no longer spiritual. Because if they were really spiritual, first of all, they could not tolerate this that long. They could not have tolerated this that long if these people in the United States, if at least 50% were really spiritual like that, they couldn't have tolerated this that long. Like, I stopped looking at media because it's just so crazy. And it's like, why are people listening to this or putting up with this? Why are they doing it? That's showing you that that's the zombie apocalypse right there. The fact that so many people can tolerate this as a collective for so long. Because you yourself might want to break free from it, but you're an individual, so you'll have to do your own individual work. And most people just have to do their own individual work. So we're not seeing anything that's being overturned because it's just individual people just trying to manifest their own life. Instead of come together as one, like these entities that's doing all this diabolical stuff, they come together as one, while you get other people in the world just work together as individuals, but they just work on their own individual results. But they're not going to make anything go away. They're just going to work around whatever's going on. I'm going to have to cut off my phone, but let me end this. So yeah, I'm going to say this though. Because so many people have kind of went along with this, a lot of this is going to come to an end. When? I don't know, because there's multiple timelines, all right? I can't say when because everybody's going to be in a different reality. I don't like to predict years and days and months and times because everybody's not going to be in the same reality. Everybody's not going to be on the same timeline. Whatever you decide to go along with, whatever you decide to be content with in your life, that could be where you're going to end up. And so I don't make predictions on what's going to happen in a whatever so-called future, since there's just really only now. Okay. So time is something that's within this matrix and there's multiple timelines. Okay, multiple dimensions, multiple realities in this timeline. A lot of things probably will come to an end. But a lot of people might not be around to see it. What we think is called Earth might be empty or whatever. So because it doesn't make any sense for so many people around the world to be content to give so much control to a group of entities that's only a handful, and you got billions of people around the world that has tolerated so much. Because they're separated. That's why. Because of separation. People see themselves as individuals. That's why. So the reason why they can't come together in some kind of prayer, regardless of what they believe in, is the intention. I said that earlier. I don't care if they go to Ganesha in prayer. It's the intention that they're putting forth, and they're going to get results because of their intention. It's just, that's how it is. But so many people just decided to just be individuals. That and you know, is the clearing is going to happen, but a lot of people might not see, they might not be on the positive side of the clearing. Okay, they might not be on the positive side of the clearing because people, you just can't. And when I say you, I'm just speaking in general. I'm not speaking about the people who's listening. You just can't have a mass of people around the world that goes along with this foolishness. Don't try to fight back spiritually. They could win this, but don't do nothing. They just go along to get along, to do whatever is being told to them, and then think something's going to come around and clean this out and spare them. They won't be spared at all. It's just going to be cleaned out. That's it. And the ones who wanted to, even if they tried to rise in consciousness, there's a greater intelligence that knows that they were being blocked by fourth dimensional diabolical entities. And the greater consciousness will not be fooled by that, okay? They won't be fooled by it, okay? They're going to be able to realize that greater consciousness, that greater intelligence is going to know that this fourth dimensional entities is picking on people that's stopping them from rising in consciousness. And they won't be able to trick them. They won't be able to trick the greater consciousness. But other than that, most people just want to go along to think they're going to get some freedom back that they're never going to get back, and so they keep letting all these people just get away with what they're doing. And they, like I said, when I say fight back, and I say how long they're going to let this go on, I don't mean fighting back spiritually. I don't mean fighting back physically. I don't mean fighting back physically. I don't mean getting out protesting. I don't mean getting up in the police face or going to the White House and doing all this stuff. Now, people can do that. I think action is good. But the biggest thing that's going to have to take place is going to be spiritual. I believe doing things is good. I believe going to court is good. But I see something happen with the Supreme Court, how they siding with the diabolicals, okay? The Supreme Court, I see how they doing things. So it looks like it's going to be 95% spiritual, honestly, okay? And the more people keep going along with this craziness that's going on, the more evil it's going to get. The more evil it's going to get. And they're going to want freedom, but it was too many of them that could have come together and dropped whatever differences they might have had, but they so focused on being an individual that it did not happen, okay? They so focused on being an individual, they so focused on separation, they so focused on classism by races, they so classes and races, they so focused on the caste system, who's at the top of society and who's at the bottom of society. They so focused on that, running their minds and them thinking they better than other people, that they could not come together to overturn these very vicious, evil entities that's doing what's happening right now. They couldn't. I'm talking about people around the world. I'm not just talking about in the United States of America. And so when this greater intelligence and this greater force comes to clear this out, a lot of people are not going to be on the positive side of that, because people could have come together and put away their individualism for a second to come together. They could have did something about this. They chose not to, so you're not going to be able to see the beauty when this greater force comes to clean this out. They're not going to be able to see the beauty. They're going to go with the trash. But anyway, my phone is about to go dead, and that's it. I'll talk later.